This is Mark Anthony with Mercury Time Price Analytics. Welcome to our end of day video update for Tuesday, August 18th. Now, take a look at that chart and imagine you don't have any of these algorithmic metrics on the chart. And if you're watching the tape today, you're probably wondering how in the world do you trade this? You had a morning low prior to the open down here at about 33.80. You had to move up to 33.90, ran the stops, followed by a reversal and a fast move down to 33.65, followed by a move all the way back up where this thing got started. Well, how do you trade it? You trade it using the algorithmic metrics that we offer our members. These work because they are the same algorithmic cycles that the institutional traders use, that the institutions use. We're going to talk about that tonight. But before I forget, we've got a webinar coming up, a free webinar. And if you go to our website, mercurysignals.com, just click on the webinar menu item and then click on the little link right here, and that'll get you registered. The webinar is Wednesday the 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this video after that webinar has taken place, shoot me an email at markanthony@mercurysignals.com. We'll let you know when the next webinar will be. If you want to contact me, mercurysignals.com, email address markanthony@mercurysignals.com, or on Twitter at MC2085. So we're going to come back to this chart in just a minute, but I can show you multiple algorithmic trades right here. Our daily algo bull bear pivot is the single most important price on the board every day. We run this algo about 2 hours before the market opens, before the day session opens. We get this out to our members around 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's real simple. You're long above, you're short below. So this is distributed to our members around 8 o'clock. Here you have a move just prior to the open, right down into the bull bear pivot. You get this spike up. Now, we recommend that you trade in thirds, providing your account is large enough to be trading multiple contracts. Trading in thirds, we mean trade a number of contracts that is divisible by 3, because this market whips all over the place. The idea behind trading in thirds is when you get 2 to 4 handles to the good, you take your first third, you adjust your stop, tighten it up, so if you get whipped out, well, it's nothing more than a scratch. No gain, no loss. And then you have those 2/3 remaining, and you take incremental profits. You have to take incremental profits in this market because this thing is just whipping all over the place. So right off the open, you get this move up to 33.90, run some stops above the algo regression line. Now, these algo regression lines, this is where the institutional algos set the traps. We're going to come back to this chart in just a minute, but when you get these moves above the regression lines, what the algos do is they run the stops, and quite frequently they reverse. So we got short, I think we were short right around 88, 87, and you had a nice move down. I mean, 25 handles off the high. Now, what happens when it comes back up through the regression line? Same thing. Slingshot back up. That was the spot to get long, but we're going to come back to this chart. So let's just let's back up just a minute and start with last night. These are Mercury bands, and the cool thing about our service is we offer all of this stuff, and it's one membership fee. That's it. You could take any of these things, unbundle them, and just in and of themselves, they're worth substantially more than our membership. So this is what we put out last night, and I put a note down here to watch for a couple of key levels. You had overlapping Mercury bands, meaning you got 2 Mercury bands coming in at the same price or the same handle, 33.79.55, 33.79.25. You can see those right here. You also have overlapping Mercury bands down at 59. So those are the key levels to watch. 59 is very important, 71 is important, 79 is important, because all 3 of these algos go back to the day we saw the all-time futures high. Now, I believe we printed an all-time closing high today. The all-time futures intraday high was back on February 20th, and that was also the day that things got really nasty to the downside. These are three important pivot levels on that day, and right now the trading is just a pure analog to what happened on February 20th. Will we break out of this range during option expiration week? Who knows? I mean, right now they're keeping it pretty much confined between 3,400 and 3,350. But I'll tell you what, with these whips up and down within that range, huge opportunities. But this was identified to our members last night. So take a look at the chart. This chart was created at 11:24 this morning. And I actually put this chart out to our members last night. Sometimes these charts are so important that we take things that would normally be for our members only, we put them out on Twitter, because look, whether you're a member of our service or not, we don't want anybody to get hurt in this market. So we put this chart out on Twitter last night, and the point that we made is that you've got this key algorithmic upper level at 33.79.56. You've got this key lower level at 33.59.25. And you can see all the times, it's little shaded circles, that prices traded into, through, and then slingshotted back in the other direction over and over and over again. Now, today's low came right at one of the Mercury bands, and most of your daily highs and lows will come at these Mercury bands. It is the coolest algo, and we run this the night before. We run this after the full close at 5 p.m., so between 5 and 6 p.m. we're running these algos. We put it out for our members before Globex opens. So here you have 33.64.75. Go back to the Mercury bands data sheet that we put out the night before, and there you have it, 33.64.75. In literally every day, and in fact, I can't remember a day when an important high or low did not come at one of these Mercury bands. Now let's talk about NQ for a minute. The Mercury bands we put out for the S&P 500 futures, the ES, those are updated every night. Now on NQ, I run it once a week on Sunday, and those Mercury bands apply all week long. The only time they need to get updated is if NQ trades up into the very upper extension or down into the lower extension. Now, this level here, I mentioned our members last night, watch this level at 11,403. Well, let's take a look at the end-of-day chart for NQ. There you go, gang. You can't make this stuff up. And that's why all these things we put out are time-stamped. One of the reasons that we post so many charts on Twitter is because if you see an algorithm do this stuff once in a while, okay, maybe you got lucky, maybe it's coincidence. You can't do this stuff every single day unless your algorithms are working on the exact same metrics that the institutional algorithms work on. That is the only way our system can do this every day. There is no other explanation. Either that or I'm from another planet, and that is not the case. All right, so you had your high up here into the end of the day at 11,403. And by the way, you had a spike in NQ in the Globex Open up to 11,437 that immediately reversed. Now it's down trading around 11,410, 11. But NQ didn't want to have any part of that little extension up at the Globex Open. Now we'll see what happens tonight. But the point is, if you like to trade NQ, there were two awesome trades in NQ today. Just like we put out the daily bull bear pivot based on our Mercury algo for the S&P 500, the ES contract, we do the same thing for NASDAQ. We do the same thing for Apple. We do the same thing for Microsoft. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, any one of these algo metrics that we offer we could charge a subscription rate just for that, equal or higher to what we charge for the whole thing. We don't do that. We give you everything. If all we did was offer our members this single daily algo bull bear pivot, I mean, that alone is worth 100 times more than we charge. I mean, literally, the daily bull bear pivot is the single line of demarcation every day. And guess what? The algos know where that is. That's why it works so well. So here you have the daily bull bear pivot for NQ, 11,288. You think that was a good trade? And oh, by the way, it found support right there at our Saturn GT40 algo. Now, this is new. The Saturn GT40 algo is something I've been working on for about 3 weeks. It was finished on Saturday. It's part of our Saturn series of algos. Why do we call it GT40? Because I finished it on Saturday, and Saturday night my wife and I watched Ford versus Ferrari, which, by the way, is an incredible movie. And I like to have a little fun with this stuff. So it was part of the Saturn series. We watched that movie. So there you go, Saturn GT40. And by the way, if you have not seen this video on YouTube, please watch this. It is the freakiest algorithm you've ever seen. The video is Saturn GT40 high-speed trading algorithm for Mercury time price analytics. It's 21 minutes. If you are a chart geek, this will blow you away. If you are a newer trader and you're just starting to understand technical analysis, this will show you the upper limit of the envelope of what can be done. Because here's kind of the holy grail in algorithms. It's one thing to give you levels that are going to be fulcrum price points or inflection points, like we give you with the daily bull bear pivot, like we give you with these Mercury bands. It's another thing entirely to tell you where price is going to go in the future. And that's what that Saturn GT40 does. It shows you price points where the S&P is going to go in the future, and I'm not making that up. And folks, the last time anybody living was able to do that was WD GAN. Now, I'm not comparing my work at all to WD GAN, because look, I have the aid of computers to do this. Long time ago, WD GAN was doing this with a piece of graph paper, a pencil, and a ruler. And by the way, when these algos were being created, it was very, very important to me not to consult or read anybody else's work, because this had to be 100% original. But it's not a coincidence that there are so many similarities with GAN, because here's the thing. Just like I mentioned a minute ago, that you cannot get this level of accuracy without running your algos on the exact same metrics as the institutions. You can't get these numbers right unless you know the specific mechanics of time and price as pertains to financial markets. That is the essence of GAN theory. Time is more important than price. And if there's anybody that does GAN work, and I mean, if you've got stuff that's really accurate, then contact me. We'll talk. And I don't mean this in a braggadocious way at all, but I do not believe there is anyone anywhere that has these dynamics down to the degree that WD GAN had them, other than the work that you see right now. And I know that's a big statement, but look, folks, I mean, if you watch these videos or you watch the posts we put out on Twitter, our stuff does this every single day. So back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now, this is the chart I want to talk about. And actually, I took this screenshot just before I came on the mic. So let's look at the actual live chart. So you're pushing right up into this regression line again. Price right now is what, 33.89. You get these moves above these regression lines, and the regression lines are very binary, because either price will come down right to the regression lines and it'll respect it and bounce off, or sometimes you get these little what I call algo hooks. So sometimes you get just one little poke, one little bar above or below the regression lines. And then sometimes you get these algo hooks where they'll take it up, they'll lure everybody in, and then boom, that's the hook. They lure you in, run your stops, or get you to flip long, and then they take it the other way. And conversely, they'll make you think this thing is just going to have the bottom drop out of it and get you to start chasing it long down here, and then boom, algo hook in the other direction. Here's another algo hook. Here's another algo hook. Today was a big algo hook. Boom. And they may be setting up another one of these. Now, tonight in Globex may be the night that they pop this thing over 3,400. Who knows? I mean, you know, you don't predict. You use the algos for confirmation. So I guarantee you, if this thing wants to pop up above here and reverse, that's where you get short. You know, just like up here, it came up above, couldn't hold it, and we got short. You come down here, this triggers your long. Now, quite frankly, we missed this long because a major national trading platform, which I will not mention, was down most of yesterday and for about 3 hours into the trading session today. And, you know, God bless them. I know running a nationwide trading platform like this company does, and look, they are one of the best. They have the best charting package. That's why we use this. But I think somewhere around noon today, Dolph Lundgren gave some dude with a beard a call, and maybe they got it fixed. I don't know. But look, I'm not saying, and I didn't mention the name of the broker. And I will. This is not a knock on that broker because I love them. They have the best charting package that I've ever seen, and it allows us to do these really cool things we do. So we're not knocking on that particular broker. In fact, I'm taking this opportunity to thank them for putting out one heck of a product. Look, you're dealing with technology. You know, these things happen. So anyway, I think they're awesome. That's what we use. All right. So what's going to happen tonight? You know, you just have to let the chart do what it wants to do and let the algos give you clues. So shorter video tonight than what we normally do because we're early in Globex. We're going to have to see what happens. But if you have not attended one of our webinars, there's still space left. There's not a lot of space left. So if you want to be part of this webinar tomorrow, be a good idea to register. It's a free webinar. These things usually run an hour, but I can tell you, the last webinar that I held, we went for 2.5 hours because you know there were awesome questions that were asked. We're going to try not to do that again, but we're going to open up the hood and show you some things on this webinar that we just don't have time to get into in these videos. So with that, we want to thank you so much for watching this video. You know, things are tough with everything that's going on around us. If you remember nothing from this video, I want you to remember this. God loves you very, very much, and he wants to have a relationship with you. And if you've never thought about that, or maybe, you know, you have had a relationship with God before and you do the silly things that I did, like ran away from him for years because I just didn't think that I deserved him, which was stupid. But the point is, God will always be there for you. Even if it takes you a long, long number of years to figure out he was always there, he'll always be there. And look, you know, times are tough. I don't know how anybody is making it through what's going on all around us without having a close relationship with God. So I want to thank you for your time. Most importantly, God bless you, God bless your family, and we hope to see you again soon. God bless.